Imam Tariq,
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
alhamdulillah, you're present. Praise be to
Okay,
Allah.
I
Wa
just
alaikum
wanted to make
assalam, my
sure.
brother.
Are we ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna open up. We're gonna open up with Surah Al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Ameen. Again, assalamu alaikum, and we want to thank everyone for being here with us for another edition of Why Be an Entrepreneur. In today's presentation, we will be looking at reasons or amazing reasons why your business needs social media. And following that, we will be addressing business cards, why they matter. We have might not be able to get to the third one or the fourth one here. We won't rush this. And how to design your business card and how to do an elevator pitch. So again, I'm Imam Tariq Abdul Mu'min. For those who don't know, I reside as the Imam at the Biloxi Islamic Center here in Biloxi, Mississippi, and I also serve as the convener for the Southern Section of Imams. So we want to thank you, and I want to make this an interaction piece. So in the moments where I invite you all to make statements and or ask questions, please do so, because I think we get better understanding once we have that interaction. But please be brief in your questions and or your comments. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Get started and pull my first one up. Is the screen showing? Is the slide on the screen? Are you all hearing me? No, I guess it's not.
I hear you. I hear you, Imam Tariq.
Okay, let me.
I see you visually on the screen.
Okay, now the screen. No, you're sharing it now. Okay, I got it. Oh, okay, there we are. Okay, this is our intro. We would like to thank you for joining us. Hold on. Give me a minute. Okay, thank you for joining us. And we're going to go on this slide. And a little bit about us. This organization is organized. This organization is organized to make sure that the enthusiasm for business growth stays with us, to make sure as many people as possible are involved with business in our neighborhood. We're promoting and keeping things happening. Following this, we have quotes from Imam Tariq Muhammad. And he says, our business people have to see our roots in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's call to financial responsibility, to business development, to some economic plan. We can't deny him that credit that he has earned. He was the one who excited us, the African-American people. It was an excitement to have a bigger appetite for not only wealth, but also for bigger responsibility that gives bigger respect to a people. We have to grow financially. Our community cannot support our schools, our mosques, our religious and spiritual needs if we don't have money. We have to have some money. I'm not going to be stupid sitting around here waiting on some rich Arab and some rich Iranian to give us some money. I don't want that. My self-respect don't want that. So the best way is the way that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. Do for self. I think as Muslim, we still quoting Imam Muhammad. May God forgive him, have mercy be with him, and have him in the best place in the paradise, along with his father, who taught us the concept of doing for self. I think as Muslims, we should just shout when someone says, come, let us make an effort to improve our business circumstances. We should just shout, hey, let's go. Let's go. We should be ready to go. We have to get rid of the fear of not being able to succeed in business. And we quote Imam again. We have come to a point in our growth as a Muslim community in America that if we don't create finances for ourselves and our children, we can't and won't grow anymore as an impactful and productive Muslim community in America. And you just can't have Islamic life in your heart and in your spirit. Islamic life has to be expressed in Islamic structures. Islamic life has to be expressed in halal businesses. Islamic life has to be expressed in homes owned by Muslims and factories owned by Muslims. Yes, in productive land owned by Muslims, in transportation for shipping products owned by Muslims, in cars and buses and trucks, trains, and airplanes owned by Muslims. And this is the last one. I need to move this over just a little bit here. We cannot have a healthy community or a healthy morale, good morale for our community if we don't have a showing in business growth or business development. It's a must. It will be heavy on our soul. It will be taxing our spirit if we don't have a business showing in our community. Business is a must. You have to produce for yourself. Take care of your own. That means your own neighborhood too. We need people of like interests, especially business interests. If you know each other and you know something is happening in your area by persons of good character, and they are all contributing to the business growth of our association of members, their people in their locale should try to tie up with them if they have like minds and like interests tied together. And this conclude with this statement. And we do need organizations that organize just to make sure that the enthusiasm for business growth stays with us and to make sure as many people as possible are involved with business of our neighborhood. We need organizations just for business people to promote and keep things happening. And I strongly believe that we are one of those organizations. When I say we, I'm talking about you all too, not just in conjunction with being here, October, November, December, in our third month of these presentations. So I'm including you all in this organization, the Entrepreneurs and Development Institute. So this is us, and I want to thank you all for that. So any feedback on this? Do we need to go back to a slide before we go back to a slide before we go on? Okay, thank you. Sound to me that you all know this have memorized all of this. That's a good thing. Okay, I want to first, before we get into the main topic, and we know the Quran, where the Quran is the subject, and we get topics from the Quran. So I don't want to start from the beginning here. I want to look at this verse here from the Quran. And we've seen it before, but we know that we can go over a verse many, many times in the Quran and still get something new from it. And since we're going to be addressing social media really as a means of marketing and promoting your business, I just wanted to remind us what Allah says in the Quran in Suratul pardon me, chapter 25, Furqan, Surah Furqan. And this is a chapter now that was revealed in Mecca. And I had not yet got to Medina when the prophet got this. So based on what I'm seeing in this verse, someone obviously asked the question, because Allah revealed this. وقالوا ما له هذا الرسول يأكل طعاما يمشي في الأسواق لولا أنزل إليه ملك فيكن معه نذير. And they say, what sort of messenger is this who eats food? And we know that that's not just it's talking about our substance for life. And the interesting thing in this, Allah put this Yaqulu, he put this in the present future tense. This is not a past tense statement. This is a present future tense statement. And even the eating, the walking, that is put in the present future tense. And the marketplace, he mentioned the marketplace. And they wanted to know, why isn't there is not an angel brought down with him as a warner? The same surah, different verse. In my understanding, this is where Allah come back and give an answer to that question that obviously someone asked during that time period. And he said, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا قَبْلَكَ مِنَ مُرْسَلِينَ إِلَّا أَنَّهُمْ لَا يَقُولُونَ الطَّعَامِ يَمْشُونَ فِي الْأَسْوَاقِ وَجَعَلْنَا لِبَعْضِكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ فِتْنَةً أَتَصْبِرُونَ وَكَانَ رَبُّكَ الْبَصِيرَ. And the messengers, all of them whom we sent before you, were all who ate food, all who went to the marketplace. We have made some of you as a trial for others. Will you have patience? For Allah is the one who sees in all things. So we have to keep this in mind, that Allah established the marketplace. And if our prophet and the prophets, Muhammad the messenger of God, was in the marketplace, we should also, if we say we follow him, we should be mindful in trying to find our place in the markets. In today's environment where we're in, you don't even have to have a physical location to have people to shop from you. None whatsoever. Because that overhead, the holding stock, keeping stock on hand, that is the biggest cost, one of the biggest costs, along with employees. And we're not saying we wouldn't want to employ anybody if we're able to employ somebody, but that's a big expense. So the other, to the left of that, we have a quote here that says, the parts of the lands dearest to Allah, a quote from our prophet, are its mosque, and the parts most hateful to Allah is the marketplace. And if you was on this early on, 2 or 3 months ago, I think, about 2 months ago when we mentioned this, keep this in its proper context. We have to understand, because I have heard it used by people, particularly those traveling brothers called a Jamaat, misquote this verse, take it out of context and everything. So the marketplace is not hateful, except that you let it distract you from the remembrance of Allah and establishing the prayer. That's in another verse. I think that's in Surah An-Nur. But if it become that, then Allah, it can be hateful. But if you hear that call to prayer, then you able, because there are going to be certain situations where you might not be able to leave based on what your career is. Things happen. But if you intentionally neglecting that, then yes, that can be possibly applied. So do anyone have any input or feedback on this before we go on? Please do so. Okay. We're gonna leave that. Okay, these are 10 reasons why your business needs social media marketing. And there's many platforms out there. I'm not choosing, I would not say which one is the best to use, but I have selected particularly is about two. Well, I know currently I use Facebook a lot more so than any of the platforms. I'm on LinkedIn. I forget that other one. I think it's Instagram. And WhatsApp, I have that app. And of course, Messenger. And so choose the one that you think you can get best benefit from to help you promote, to market your business. So this, again, this presentation is 10 reasons why your business needs social media marketing. Okay. You have set up your business. Congratulations. You need to do some marketing, but you have a tight budget. You know how inefficient analog, that's newspapers, magazines, flyers, brochures, and postcards, advertising can be, and realize it is not an option. Don't despair. Social media marketing is the way to go. Importance of social media marketing. The modern business can no longer afford to exist without having a social media presence. The astute social media marketer knows that no matter what the size of the business is, you need it as part of your marketing strategy. You get access to a wide customer base. It's relatively inexpensive and provides an easy way to create awareness. Let's delve into the 10 reasons why social media is important for your business. Number one, it's cost effective. Cost effective. Advertising on social media is cost effective, even if you're to factor in the paid promotions. You'll not spend as much as you would on TV and print adverts. The sign-up process on most of the social media platforms is free and very. You do not need to sit down with a media house person to negotiate good deals. You therefore have part of your budget to pour back into the business. It's also easier to measure the return on investment because you're able to reach more people. And I'm just going to make a little comment on this. On the paid promotions, I do know the platform that I use, Facebook, more so than any of them. It is once you pay it's a different amounts. Once you pay that, they have a certain number of people that post will reach, and I'm a witness to that. You do get some feedback. You do get some people reaching out to you, like I mentioned on WhatsApp and things such as that. Facebook Messenger. People have gotten in contact with me that way, and I was able to do some business. So consider this, using that platform, and the different things that you can create, like they have your a reel, that WEEL you can create. You can add music to that. You can add, and also they have where you can do a story. You can add music to that story as well, and they have it's uh, like like Instagram. If you do your post on Instagram, and if you have pages on Facebook, you are of one or two or more Facebook pages. Once you do that post on Instagram, you can tie in to that page on Facebook, and it'll automatically post there on that particular page. And then you have the opportunity to share it with your friends and turn around and share it publicly. Now, however, I have noticed that they're no longer allowing people, because I had several pages. And one of the pages that I created on Facebook is for the Southern Association of Massages and Centers, where every Friday, those massages and centers that live stream their footballs, for the most part, on Facebook in the evening time, after everyone is done, I go back and I will share those balls with two other pages that I have on there. Yeah, the one for the Southern section, and a page to help promote our authors and our publications. Well, Facebook has changed that. That can no longer be done. Posting those footballs or other presentation to those pages. So I didn't question it. I wonder why, because they have changed a whole lot of things. And not only that, when you do a live presentation, it's just like the hookball that I done yesterday, and the other ones did, the other people that did their hookballs or did whatever. I think either 30 some days after you, or 2 weeks or something after you've done that presentation, that live stream, they will send you a notice. It'll come up and to let you know that on such and such a day, this video will be deleted, because they're not saving any of that. You used to go back and find videos, but they're not allowing that anymore. But they will allow you to download that video so you can keep that. And so that is a wonderful thing to be able to do. So let's utilize these platforms to the best of our ability. So we go on. The second one, it raises your conversation rates. Visibility is essential for the success of a business. The online platform gives you unlimited access to do this using images, videos, and blogs, among others. You also get to interact with the customers on a one-to-one basis, which adds that personal touch in your interaction. By making a good impression on your customers, you're likely to get conversations, return customers, and referrals. Now, another thing that I did with one of the products that I have, I started showing myself and everything. And that helped me once I was showing myself with this particular product. And you want to keep that in mind because they say, well, I'm just going to say that was very, very beneficial. Now, we go improve customer satisfaction. Social media and marketing work because customers like to know that they're interacting with an individual and not some faceless entity. When engaging with customers on social media platforms, you need to make sure that you respond respectfully and promptly. Now that goes back, I just want to just add this, and I think we had the conversation in one of our host meetings or something that we was talking about the AM 360 pages, et cetera, et cetera. I think if that still that need to be looked at and make regularly post on that platform and everything. And I don't know if AM 360 or CWSC is on LinkedIn. You might want to consider that too, because I had a personal page on LinkedIn, but I created another one for the Entrepreneurs and Development Institute. But you want to do regularly post. Did I read number 3? Yes, yeah. Number 4, increase your brand awareness with an effective social media strategy. A business has the opportunity to increase its brand awareness. You have the opportunity to reach a wide audience base, encourage your team to like, share, and invite their friends and family to interact with pages. In this work, I have experienced that. And another thing you can do to increase your brand awareness, and I tested this to see how effective it was going to be. So I had loaded up a photo of the merchandise, and I put it, and I said to AI, it was AI, to create how to promote this, et cetera, on social media. And no sooner than I got through typing that question and hit, the button on your phone for to give a reply, a nice promotional statement came up on how to promote this particular product. And I got a lot of feedback. And that made me realize what I was typing was not working. So I'm utilizing these things that have come to be to help us. But read it real carefully before you type everything that's there, because I don't go with everything. So the greater part of it I keep, but I read it real carefully to make sure it's nothing that's going to be offensive and really against us, that basically that Allah won't be satisfied with. So we have to be conscious of that too. Become an authority. People are more likely to respond to a business that shows expertise. It'll require that you engage in writing pieces and selling out content that'll make a difference to the customer life. So that's somewhat addressing what I recently shared. Schedule content to go out on a weekly or bi-weekly basis so that your customers know in advance when they can look forward to new material. Now, the study stated when the best time to, and since I use Facebook more than any other platform, the best time to post there. It's a certain time period. And I want to say, based on memory, is between, I think, 9 and 1, 9 in the morning, 1 o'clock in the evening. That is the best time to do your post and everything. Present informative, well-researched pieces that directly address the issues the customers are raising. Number 6, improve your search engine ranking. A business that ranks high on search engines like Google is likely to achieve high conversions. Invest time in ensuring that you optimize your content for search engines. Using social media for marketing requires that you learn the right keywords, which will direct traffic to your website. Use blogs, case studies, infographics, and other business information to build an intriguing profile. With good quality content, people will like and follow your page, thus allowing it to build a large audience. 7, improve your brand loyalty. A loyal customer base is very important for the growth of a business. A satisfied customer is likely to become a loyal one. Such customers will also encourage other people to follow your brand, resulting in leads generation. While a website is a great tool for online marketing, you need social media to get more traffic to your website. Link your social media pages to your site so that you can share posts across platforms. The people you reach, the greater the level of brand awareness, which will result in brand loyalty. Number 8, segment your customers. With social media marketing, you can segment your customers and customize the content you will push to them. You will enjoy the benefit of better customer interaction with the material because it is relevant to them. Keep an eye on the competitors. Social media allows you to keep an eye on what your competitors are doing without spending huge amounts of money on market research. You get to learn what they're doing right or wrong. You also get a chance to build your profile by demonstrating your industry knowledge, thus getting an edge over the competition. 10, get insights into the marketplace. It's important to learn how to use social media for business if you're to realize any gains. The platform allows you to understand your customers better because you get to interact with them one-on-one. There are various tools, for example, the analytics that will provide invaluable information on what your customers want. Use these tools to segment the audience base so that you push out relevant content. Measuring the return on investments will also be very easy because you will know how many conversations you get from your post. Elevate your business to the next level with social media. Social media marketing is an effective tool for growing your business. It's cost-effective, and you're able to measure return on investment easily. It also gives you a platform to become an authority while allowing you to gain valuable insights into the market. The best part about social media is that you don't have to spend astronomical amounts of money to get some positive feedback. Signing up is easy, and once you create the account, you are at liberty to use it as you see fit. You need to put the right tools in place. Use these great tips here, and you can always reach out to us for more information. So do anyone have any feedback, any questions? Please do so. Anyone? Okay. That concludes that one. Am I moving too fast? Okay. Now we're getting ready to get into the reasons why business cards still matter. Now, on this screen, this is to the left. This is an image of my business card for the Entrepreneurs and Development Institute. Okay, where you see we're helping people do for self. I'm not going to name the source which I use. There are a lot of sources out there, and I even found one that their prices are lower than the one I currently use, but I don't like their method in how you go about designing business cards. So I stayed with this one where I'm currently using to get my business cards from. They let you actually you can do everything. You do everything that need to be done, and then once you click OK, that's how they're gonna send you their card when you pay. Now, however, you can get their people to design the card for you. They charge you for that, but you can get them to verify if everything is correct, the fonts, the sizes, and everything for your particular business card. And they do let you, as you see that image of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad there, I uploaded that as well as the logo for Facebook and everything. So they let you upload different things on that. For your business cards. And they not just only do business cards, they do a whole lot of other things, but I use them particularly for only business cards for now. Before exploring why business cards are still as relevant as ever, let's go back in time, way back. The jury's still out on their exact origin. Both China and France lay claim to having invented early calling or visiting cards used during social visits dating back as far as the late 16th century. In Europe, these early forms of certain social status were used by the wealthy elite to request meetings with other members of the upper class, and not surprisingly, their servants to announce a distinguished guest arrival at their stately home. In mid-17th century London, people right across the social spectrum had adopted these cards. At that time, not all streets had names or numbers, so trade cards with maps and directions were essentials to show customers how to find a store or workshop. One thing for sure is that business cards show no signs of becoming obsolete, even after more than 300 years. Despite numerous advances in technology, including mobile applications that create and manage digital business cards, the physical version is as popular as ever. So in a digital age, why are paper business cards still so relevant? These 5 timeless qualities could be the secret to the business card's stubborn longevity. Number 1, direct and personal. Networking is about making authentic and long-lasting connections. Although sending contact information through text or email is convenient. It's also quite impersonal. Handing over your business cards while maintaining eye contact in conversation is a much more personal approach. Now, notice it stated eye contact. First impression count. And your business card etiquette is one of the most influential factors in creating rapport with people the first time you meet. 2, reliable. Phone batteries die, and this only worsens as your device slows with age and countless software updates. Annoying. Your battery tends to fail when you need access to your digital information on the go. Business cards don't suffer this fate. And since they don't require batteries or a reliable 4G connection, they work for you around the clock. Tangible. Your business card serves as a personal reminder that doesn't get lost in digital clutter of social media posts and endless emails. Exchange of business cards is a valuable interaction between you and your new contacts and often acts as your introduction. The physical characteristics of your card, like texture and paperweight, influence the associations people have with your business. In the same way you may subconsciously judge someone by their handshake when you meet. 4, universal. People still expect business cards regardless of where you travel on business. The humble business card is a crucial element in the exchange of professional details and for creating the right impression with new colleagues, partners, and providers. Before traveling anywhere, it's a good idea to familiarize yourself with business etiquette and designation, as it may differ to what people expect at home. In some cultures, it's customary to accept a business card with 2 hands and study it closely, while other places have more casual attitude to how you hand out and receive cards. Professional. A memorable business card does a lot more than just share your email address or phone number. It communicates the qualities of your brand and what you stand for as a business owner. Handing over your card expresses more confidence and pride in what you do than haphazardly scribbling details on a napkin or typing eyes down into your phone. Your card gives your business legitimacy and shows that you're serious about what you do. Remember, networking can happen anywhere. You might meet helpful contacts during parties, on trips, or at other social events. The emotional and social jobs of business card. A VP of product marketing pointed out social media and smartphones do a good job of serving the functional need of helping you network and trade information, but neither competes with the emotional and social jobs that business cards deliver. These often tend to be the jobs people have the hardest time with. When you create a business card, you're not only buying a piece of paper with your logo and contact information on it, you're protecting your business and personal image for the world to see. And that concludes that. Any input or questions? Anyone? I don't know if it's on the approaching next coming presentation dealing with business, but I do know one marketer suggested that when you give your business card, or give out business cards, quote unquote, you give that person 3 business cards. And the reason that was highly recommended is because they'll take one of them, the other 2, and give them to someone else. So when I first got that was first brought to my attention, I'm like, oh man, these cards called me some money. So but I had to get over that. Obviously, that was stated for a reason. Give three and move on. It's challenging though. So the next one we want to look at any comments or questions. We need to go back on anything. Let's please do so. Okay. I hope I'm not moving too fast now. Where are we? We define reason. Okay. Now we want to look at how to design an effective business card. Okay, this is how to design an effective business card. Now, one of the things that I did before I go on with my online source, I go to their site and that card that you seen of the Entrepreneurs and Development Institute, I downloaded that from my supplier of my business card. That's how I was able to upload it like this. Now, I do use that. I keep it in my phone. And if I got somebody's phone number, I'm on hand with them and I say, can I get your phone number? I text them that card. That's another means of which you can do things too. Text people that. And they got it on their phone. So, but I'm not saying do not get business cards. Because you might not be able to get that person's telephone. So how is it recommended to your business card should look? Okay, your business card can help create a lasting impression for you or your business if you utilize an effective design. Traditional business cards include your name, title, and contact information in a fairly straightforward manner and can convey a sense of class. Non-traditional designs are a great way to grab someone's attention and help make sure your card stands apart from the rest. Choosing which style of business card is best for you is a matter of personal preference and what you hope to accomplish with it. Method 1 of 2, creating a traditional card. Keep it simple. Traditional business cards should not be cluttered or difficult to understand. Most professional business cards use a traditional design for a reason, because it conveys the important information directly. Avoid using elaborate or overlaid decorative designs that may make it difficult to understand the information on the card. Provide your name, your title, the company name, and contact information. You may also want to include something specific to your industry, if it is obscure or if you have a specialization. An example of how to list your information could be, and I changed, put my name there and et cetera, as you see. And we don't have a Market Street Avenue that I know of here in Biloxi, and I know I don't think we got a city named Macon, Mississippi here. So I just put that there. So that's somewhat, you see an example of what they asking to be done. Okay. Only use permanent messages. Only use permanent messages. Avoid using gimmicks or slogans that may change often on your business card so you can use them for a long period of time. Short-term promotions or gimmicks can make it so you can no longer use a business card after the promotion is over or your sales gimmick changes. Only include information that is pertinent to helping people get in touch with you. Rely on yourself to sell people on contacting you instead of novelties in your business card. And you see they got a little example on there of what not to do. You see that picture. Use appropriate design principles. There are common principles of design utilized in most traditional business cards that your card should adhere to in order to be pleasing to the eye as well as informative. Borders, color uses, and text size can make a business card design successful or eligible based on use of the principles of design. Maintain at least a 5mm border around the outer perimeter of the business card. Stick to a two-color design, such as egg white, cardstock, and black ink. Ensure your text is large enough to be easily readable. Avoid clip art. Instead of clip art, consider simply including the business's logo if you want to add images. Avoid the use of clip art as it makes your card look unprofessional or poorly designed. Clip art often looks cheap and can diminish the credibility of your business card. Conveys. So when I put this information was gathered after the previous presentation that I did with my business card showing an image of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad giving boosting this man confidence up to get up and do something for self. Well, that image there is what they are addressing to be clip art. So I'm challenged with, should I keep it there? Go to my source that I got to design the business card and find something that reflects entrepreneurship, which they have a whole lot of things already put together. So I haven't made the decision yet if I want to keep it there or not. So, but it is considered clip art. And they give you the option of uploading it too on there. So that's one reason I say, well, et cetera, et cetera. I'm leaning more towards keeping it than getting rid of it. So only use imagery on your business card if it will help reinforce your business brand. And that's why I kind of keeping it there. And because again, Imam Muhammad told us we shouldn't forget it was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad who inspired us to be who we are and where we're trying to be as business people. Now, enlist help to create an effective design. Enlist help to create an effective design if an aesthetic design isn't one of your strong suits. There are a number of options available that can help you create a business card that is both effective and pleasing to the eye. If you have the budget, enlisting the service of a professional designer can help you ensure your business cards adhere to all of the appropriate principles of design. Ask your printer if they can recommend a designer, or look for one with good reviews on website, and they have two listed here. But again, the source that I use, they will design the card for you, but you'll have to pay them and everything. Many printing companies offer a variety of templates that you can use with effective designs. Templates offer tried and tested designs that are common in traditional business cards. Use the right kind of paper, color, and ink. Once you design your business card, you'll need to address the materials you want it made out of with the printer. Make sure you support a strong design with good choices on the finish of your card. Most cards should be printed on 80-pound cover stock paper. Choose between smooth, linen, and laid finishes for your card. Smooth is the most common choice, but linen or laid can both give your card a textile feel that may be appropriate for your design. Make sure your printer chooses ink that does not bleed on the finish of your choosing. There are many shades of white and off-white for card stock, as well as many colors of ink to choose from. Black or gray inks are the most common and appropriate, but selective use of colors can draw attention to the specific areas of your business card if that complements your design. Method 2 of making a non-traditional card. Utilize the back of your business card. In my business card that you're seeing with the Entrepreneurs and Development Institute, yes, I do have information on the back side of that card. Most traditional business cards are printed on one side with the back left blank. One creative way to make your business card stand out is to use the back of the card as well as the front. You may want to include a picture, image, or photograph that is related to your business or positioned on the back of the card. The back of your card could serve as a place to list services or products that your business offers. Printing on two sides costs more than one, so take that into account when budgeting. Put holes in your cards. Many printers can use the die cut process to cut holes in your cards in order to make business cards functional or unique. You can die cut a business card to give it a different shape or to make the interior of the card stand out. You can cut holes that fit the size of a typical Rolodex to make your cards more practical for some people. However, most people use an electronic version or a Rolodex instead. Cutting holes through the middle of the card may be a good novelty for certain products and services. A company that specializes in replacing windows may want to have a hole cut through it with a design that makes it seem like a broken window. Dies are expensive to create, become more economical based on the number of business cards you order. Use unusual material. Another way to make your business card stand out is to have your card's information printed on unusual material. There are many different kinds of materials you may want to have business cards printed on, but be aware of the costs associated with each. You may want to print your card on thin wood, on thin wood or metal. These will be the most expensive options, but offer a significant wow factor. Tech companies may want to use plastic that resembles a computer chip for their business cards. Different materials can make your card stand out visually, but also by touch when someone is looking for your card among other business cards they have collected. Make a business card with alternate uses. Using different materials or the die cut method can allow you to create business cards that serve a number of purposes. You may want to die cut slits that permit your card to be folded into something, have your information printed on materials that serve other purposes. You could cut your card to be foldable into something that holds smartphones or office supplies like a pen or pencil. You may want to have the information printed directly onto things like keychains or even pet treats a person could give their animal. The business card will go away when it's fed to a pet, but the card will certainly leave an impression. 5, use a QR code. QR codes are comprised of black and white squares and can be read by various devices such as smartphones. QR codes often contain website addresses, so when a person scans the QR code on your business card, it takes them to a specific website. You may want to include a QR code on the back of your business card that takes people to your company's website. If you work by commission or need to maintain personal relationship with customers or clients, you may want to use a QR code that takes people to a form they can use to contact you. Include the necessary information. Even non-traditional cards must contain all the necessary information to help someone reach out. Make sure your name, title, and contact information is easily read and understood regardless of design and materials used in printing your business card. Different inks may be necessary to keep your information clearly visible on different materials. Make sure the design elements don't clutter the card so much that it's hard to find the information someone needs to contact you. Keep your budget in mind. Make sure that the card you design is something you can order in quantity and reorder when you need to. Non-traditional cards can be extremely costly to design and produce, so you should make sure you can afford to have as many of the cards made as you need. The more complex the design of your business card, the higher the cost to produce them will likely be. Ask your printer to keep any dyes or special materials they create to produce your cards to reduce the cost of having new ones printed in the future. There is no need to spend a ton on business cards, especially since the information on most business cards is transferred to an electronic version. And that and conclude that. And then the source that I use for mine, I got 3 or 4 cards there now that's being revised from the first time I went and started, but they're always there. They do not take them down. So they are saved. Any questions or comments on anything before we go to our next presentation? Okay, we're doing okay. I hope I'm not moving too fast. That's what I'm saying. If we need to go back, please say so. We would do that. But we want everybody to be able to understand what we are doing here. So this last presentation we want to look at is what is the elevator pitch. So an elevator pitch is a short description that typically explains who the product company is for, what it does, why it is needed, and how it will get done. Finally, when explaining an individual person, the description generally explains one's skill and goal and why they would be a productive and beneficial person to have on a team within a company project. An elevator pitch does not have to include all these components, but it usually does at least explain what the ideal product, company, or person is and why they are valuable. Aspects of an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is meant to last the duration of an elevator ride, which can vary in length from approximately 15 seconds to 2 minutes. Therefore, the main focus on an elevator pitch should be making it short and direct. According to Idaho Business Review, the first 2 sentences of an elevator pitch are most important and should hook or grab the attention of the listener. Information in an elevator pitch, due to the limited amount of time, should be condensed in order to express the most important ideas or concepts within the allotted time. Advantages of utilizing an elevator pitch. Advantages to conducting an elevator pitch include convenience and simplicity. For instance, elevator pitches can be given on short notice and without much preparation due to the pre-planning of the content being delivered within the pitch. Furthermore, elevator pitches allow the individual who is given the ability to simplify the content and deliver it in a less complicated manner by providing the information in a cut-down fashion that gets to the point. The anatomy of a 1-minute elevator pitch. Here's your structure. You're targeting the customer who has your needed statement, a product name is a marketed category, that key benefit, unlike competitor, our product, key differential. 10 seconds intro. Introduce yourself, mention title, a role, team, individual, or group. Keep this brief. It's tempting to talk more about yourself, but it won't add more value to the pitch. Focus on only what is relevant to your problem. 15-second problem. Introduce a problem you have identified, internal or external, to your organization. Mention who experiences the problem, what their pain points are, and how it impacts them. 20-second solution. 25-second solution. Introduce your proposed solution. Address only the problem identified, no more, no less. Briefly describe how you hypothesize your solution will solve the problem initially. 10-second ask. This is where you make your ask. Every good pitch has a specific ask. Describe a specific person, resource, skill, or action you need to develop solution. What will your call to action be? And that is your elevator pitch. Again, a short description that typically explains who the product or company is, what it does, why it's needed, and how it will get done. Finally, when explaining an individual person, the description generally explains one's skills and goals, and why they would be a productive and beneficial person to have a team within a company or project. An elevator pitch does not have to include all of these components, but it usually does at least explain what the idea, product, company, or person is and why they are valuable. So that concludes the presentations for today. Any input, anything we need to go back over, please do so. The floor is open up for discussion. Anyone have any questions? Please do so. Anyone have any comments? Anyone need to go back over something we presented? Sister Martha? Are you all there? I'm finished with the presentation. Is anyone there? Is anyone there? Please say something.
I am. I had to work around to get my phone.
Oh, okay. No, I was just trying to make sure. I still see some people on the call, and I thought we were going to go along on that with the number
Now,
presentation.
when you were speaking about the card,
Do we need to
when you
go
were
back
speaking
to
about
that
the
screen?
card with the and no, so we'll speak about the QR code. I noticed, and I said, "Oh wow, this is unique." There's we have a QR code on our flyer,
Mm-hmm.
CWSC, and then I was thrown when I went to copy, ask a gentleman for his card, and he showed me a QR code, I think from his phone, and I copied it, and I said, "Wow, ingenuity!"
Yes.
So that is a very quick way of getting information. And speaking about the elevator speech that you were speaking about that would come, uh, the that's the fast moving pace that we're at.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
alhamdulillah,
Yeah. And that's all what we're trying to do here is to bring to
informed
our
is the main
attention
thing.
what we need to be aware of and utilize for doing business. Because like I said earlier, I had a challenge with giving away 3 cards. Okay. Because I'm like, wow, man, these cards cost me and give 3 away. But obviously someone knew what they were talking about for them to come up with that. And and believe me, that elevator pitch worked. I have not brought you all anything that I have not put to practice myself. Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, I remember when trying to share put into a fine tuned sentence. Imam Fahim Shoaib took us through that course. At first, I was like, okay, so how do you do it? Wow, you get on the elevator and someone and you're trying to introduce yourself and you go, can I do this in 10 seconds? 5 seconds?
Yeah,
Oh boy. It took some doing.
yeah,
But the who, what, when, where, why, when you get the nuts and bolts to do it, needless to say, it works, and you don't have to feel like you're begging someone to take notice.
right,
That's the main thing, is not feel like you're throwing yourself at the feet of somebody that you
right.
have.
You went mute.
Oh, I was saying, Alhamdulillah. Yeah, I was just imagining how movies that I've watched where individuals thought others had more power than them, and it was
Mhm.
only their thinking that made them act as though they needed that person. But from your standpoint of sharing, when you're putting together your package and what you have done and others will do, inshallah, they and one thing hit in my mind: when it doesn't work at the first notice, and I'm going back to the days when we were selling insurance, dental insurance, and it was okay. How do you get your clientele? And then for real estate, it was like, okay, you can either do the cold, what's the word, cold cold calls.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Don't start talking about cold calling.
I know, right? It
Because
brings
I
back
used
memories.
I used to train people how to get in folk houses.
Really?
Oh yes, oh yes. And the
Uh,
hardest challenge that I had
uh,
was dealing with us, particularly the men, because we was required to wear a tie. And I'm like, bro, you can't have that tie. You got to pull it up, do it right. And the way we knocked on the door was not like boom, 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 boom. It was like boom, 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 boom. The police do this right here. In certain neighborhoods you go into, whoa, what's going on? So it was like a real humble, friendly knock. You know, so its presentation is everything. You can't be walking, you can't have no headsets on, you can't have on this on and talking loud and everything, and I had the hardest time dealing with really the African American men and getting them to do proper protocol in a way not to get put out of the house, particularly if that husband come home and
yes,
you African American male up in there with his woman.
that's right.
I never got thrown out when I was actually going in. Never.
See, and there's a fine line. There's a fine line between being presentable and not presentable. Presentable is one thing, but the presentation speech without being uh, uh, not appeasing. What's the other word? Pa- Oh, there's another word. Anyway, where you're already assuming that you know the person and that they're going to be a pushover once you pacifying. You're doing
Yeah.
your persuasion is one thing, but you do not take an automatic um, objective, have an automatic point of view that you know them. But you have to have speech that is respectful. Sincerity has to be in the speech. That's what I want to
Well,
say.
well, and since you mentioned that, I recall an incident when I was actually selling the merchandise, okay? Before I started recruiting and training people, that's just how well Allah blessed me to move up. And I could have got my own, quote unquote, I would say, office or distributorship, but it was a lot of unethical things that in conflict to my religion, I couldn't go on no longer with. So I left that. Uh, One lady, it was during the time, I think either former President Obama first term or something, when he was running. Man, she was on a rant. Excuse me for saying man. She was on a rant. I mean, just very foul, very disrespectful language. And then she started talking about Muslims. So you have to compose yourself, and because it's not about religion or any of that. So I discovered that this woman was a Mormon in conversation. I had her then. I say, ma'am, may I ask a question? I said, did you support Mitt Romney when he was running? She said, of course I did. I said, I liked him too. And I wasn't lying. Some of the things he said I did favor. So I had her then. Yeah, I had her. And that product got left in her house.
I used to sell copper ware and Tupperware. And because I liked it and used it myself,
Mm,
it was easy. I could not sell
right.
perfume. I could not sell nail polish or makeup because I really didn't use it.
Yeah.
But the things that I use, household items, I didn't mind selling. It was just a what you call it, momentum, temporary from
Right.
one step to another to getting the practice because I tell myself I am not a salesman. If it's meant to be, alhamdulillah, but
What
things that could sell themselves. it can sell
Well, see,
itself.
the technique to selling is not telling, it's asking questions.
Is
So if
asking
you
questions.
ask enough
Yes.
questions, then that's a done deal. But again, if some of these places out there, again, I know I'm not saying all of the different distributors or whatever was like that, but this particular one that I was with, it was a lot of unethical practices. Okay. And I felt that I was in violation of my religion. And I had to leave it alone. Oh, was the money good? Ooh, girl, the money, pardon me for saying the money, look, particularly, I thought I made the money really selling, but I did, the money was okay. But when I started moving, doing some other things, the money was better, okay? But point is, a lot of unethical things I could no longer deal with. So I just say I got to leave this because Allah blessed me in it. The different conferences we had in Orlando, Atlanta, this and that. Was like the guest speaker because of my moving up, blah blah this and that. But I had to leave that alone because again, we're gonna be held accountable for
That's
things,
right.
and that start getting on me. And the merchandise had an astronomical price on it because I seen what they cost.
Yes.
And then what they was retailing for.
Man,
This is greed. Yeah.
yeah.
It was nothing but greed. So I let that. But anyway, again, what we're trying to do, and I thank everyone for being patient and
Thank you.
understanding. And that I think next week I have to go back and look and see. We're gonna start all over again from the very beginning that we started in October. But if we need to go back on over any of the presentations, please, not just today, next week, let me know. I'll be willing to pull it back up and we go over whichever one come to mind that we need to do.
I have a question.
Yes.
Would it be, because I don't, say that I'm really good at whatever it is, because I've taken some breather away from, but a mock business uh model, some kind that we could put forth or bring, or just bring up a mock model from our own self that we could share and just say, okay, what do you, and you have us to present it to kind of give some tidbits, because some of us may be timid, even from the concept from like you're saying, the identity, the name, the logos, and all of that at the very beginning, understanding what business why are you in business?
Well, that's
You
a
want to
good
be
question.
yes.
I would say let's include that. Maybe at the time that my presentation have concluded, we can incorporate that. That's a good idea because I'm trying to get this to be interaction. I don't want to just present and boom, we gone. And that's when, again, we want to ask questions about the presentation or recommendations or this and that. Matter of fact, I have one that I have added to this since I started this that a brother asked me about. So I went and did the research and found something and put it together. So that would be, I don't know, I might just do it next week then, since he asked, but I moved it to like the third or fourth thing because I'm trying to do this in a step form of moving from one stage to the other to build up your business. That's why we here down now to the elevator pitch, because you've gone through it and you out there now and you presenting yourself, you presenting your business, and you have to really be your business. And like someone told me, what is this right here? The business that that I have, the person strongly recommended to me. You need to start, et cetera, et cetera. And once I did that, and they seen me with the merchandise, I seen an increase. Of course, things go down and they come back up. Okay. And everything. But when I start implementing that recommendation from someone, it worked. Yeah, it worked. So, but we have to be confident. We have to be able to take rejections. You have to be able to do this. And I go back to my training. Like I said, I was moved to go and apply for this quote unquote door-to-door sales thing because I needed that, right? But I didn't stay as a salesperson door to door very long, and everything. So I started recruiting and training. That's just how Allah had blessed me and everything. And I wasn't looking for any of that, you know. So, and once I'd say, well, and then they put me in charge of another thing that's really where I felt more unethical business practices. Okay. And I had got good at it. That's another thing, because that's what the person told me I need to do. So they wouldn't be in default on the people loan, because the owner of the business would have been in default on the loan and would have had to pay the finance company back. So I went out there with a line that they said, this is what you do, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I got good at doing that. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, Tariq, because money was coming in, and I'm like, oh, I say, whoa, so Allah, I said, I got to leave this. And I pray Allah forgive me. But you don't be careful, things can draw you in, and you don't even realize how deep you have gotten in that and everything. So again, that's why the prophet, as Allah told him in the Quran, tell these people you don't live among them a whole lifetime. He didn't take any of the wealth that was left with him when they went, and everything. He wasn't the safety deposit box for people. So we have to implement that too in this environment that we're in, So in today's environment, you ain't finna get me go be no salesperson door to door. Not with these trigger happy people. Look, I do not care. The minute hit me, and then no, couldn't. I don't care how much money they offer me. Not at all. So, but let's don't give up on our efforts in trying to establish ourselves a business. You have to keep at it. Can't stop. I got too much of my personal time invested in this now, and I'm not going to stop. I'm reminded of something that the prophet, praise and peace of Allah be upon him, said, that the children of Adam are so impatient. Just when Allah's about to give them that thing that they've been asking, they stop. We know, I don't know, we got family and friends. They love us. We love them. Girl, man, boy, won't you give that up? This and this and that and everything. But can't do it. So, but anyway, that's where we are. But as you recommended, Sister Martha, I have no problem doing what you suggested. Remind me. And let's hear that. But again, we got to reflect back on what Imam said in our opening about we can't have a community without business establishment.
That's correct. Now, and I'll share with you off air something that I was blessed to. It came to him in sleep, and I was putting it together this morning on paper. But I'll share that with you later, inshallah.
Okay.
That and it has to deal with circulation within, like we were saying, do for self, or have that concept, and how that can work when because I was able to assess where we are community as we identify community wise, and I'm looking at how we're operating, and through that assessment, I said, "Wow, okay." And I'll tell you exactly what came out. Now, this is the outcome of my assessment: is that we're truly, excuse my using this word, but we're truly, by using the same model that, or the method that the general community has used, people have used with others, we are doing it to self. We're using us. We're using our own self, manipulating the process without knowing it. And then we turn and say, well, why aren't the dollars staying within a circulation through the veins that the vessels that we have created, that Allah has blessed us to create? why those dollars aren't circulating long enough? Because our concept, our method, we're using the wrong highway
Mm-hmm.
to getting the monies.
Yep. Yep. That show can be. It's like I can't wait this long.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait this long because I go back to my experience about 10 years ago. And I was trying to not share all of this, but one of the last responsibility that I had with this particular entity was, I briefly mentioned, if they default on that loan that they got for that merchandise, okay, I will go out there. And really, they didn't know I was coming. That was another thing. Just like they didn't know the people was coming before they bought the product. So I'll go out there. Sometimes I'll call them and they do respond. But if I didn't respond, I just go. And just say it's right around this time of the year. And most of the time around this time of the year, our people, African Americans, be the ones definitely not going to pay because they got to do Christmas. So I would say, look, and they can have the money. They're 2 or 3 payments behind. And so I say this. My boss would like to know if there's any problems you having, let us know. She'll help you out. Of course, I got their attention then because they went, how you going to help me out, right? And so I would say, well, but she wanted me to tell you to keep this between us. Okay. So she said that she would catch you up on the payments, but I need to call the finance company from your phone and you tell the finance company that you gave me X amount of dollars. They did give me X amount of dollars. I do a receipt, leave it with the customer with a signed signature. I take that receipt back to the office, the secretary backs it into the finance company with the payment to in another method. You follow what I'm saying? I didn't collect no money. Because see, if the customer didn't fulfill their obligation to the finance company, then that particular distributor would have to pay that whole thing back to the finance company. So I got good at doing that. Okay. That was another scary thing. But it was like the money that I did get, I could have lied to the person that owned the distributorship that they didn't give me no money. She was still going to send it in. But I would never lie. I didn't do that. I had one person, young African-American couple, call me and said, Mr. Tariq, we got the money, come get it. I can't remember if I told them don't worry about it or what. I just can't remember, okay? But I'm like, did they really do this? So when I seen this was crossing a line of lying, deceiving, I had to leave that. So this is how if you don't have no business ethics and really consciousness of a law, that's not good. That's not good. And I didn't want to continue to be in environments where we have these big sales rallies and things like that. And again, me being invited as the guest speaker, all type of alcohol I wanted was there at my table. About this and that. And I'm like, I can't deal with this. And then you have a lot of younger men and women too. No morals. I say, no, this is not me. So that's it. And so, but we got a code of ethics that we have to follow. That's true success. That's what's going to get us into paradise. Yeah. As well as, rich people going to be there too because they did the right thing. But we don't have to break rules that Allah set forth. No, okay, that one thing might get to that. Yeah. And I'm doing this and I'm leaving because I didn't work on Friday. Sometime I did, sometime I got that set from day one because of that. I'm gonna be doing this responsibility, and then I'm coming, and then I stand up at the minbar every week teaching. No. Not just because I'm in that imam position. Because but in the Muslim position, for Muslim first, a believer position. So because we all gonna be held to the same, my understanding, particularly if you know better and know more. Yeah. So, but we here now, and I love this. Again, I thank you all for accepting me, and I pray we can build on this and help others and everything. And, I'm here to stay unless y'all tell me get out of here. Don't come back. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come, and everything. Yeah, and I thank you for your patience and everything. Like I said, I just do the research and read and study. And that's where we are. I love doing it. So, but anyway, I'm gonna close out here if no one have any more questions. Rabbana atina fi dunya hasanatain wa fi akhirati hasanatain wa aki adabana. Our Lord bestow good upon us in this life and bestow good upon us in the life to come and save us from the torment of the fire. Amen. Assalamu alaikum.
Ameen. Alaikum assalam. Well, everyone, tonight at 5 p.m. with Al Islam in Focus with Depreeta Abdul Hadi. And then 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Times will be the National CWSC National Town Hall, straight to the point. For 1 hour. You don't want to miss it. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum